we adopt the budget for 2026. Any comments, any discussion? So I have one. We removed a position in the auditor's office. And I would like to discuss possibly giving Beth a little more money. She does a lot of work, she's here a lot of hours. The office depends on her.
What were you suggesting?
Really,
Open
really open to suggestion. That part-time position saved us probably 20-some thousand. Yeah, a little over 25, yeah, 26 probably with taxes.
And is the other Tammy, is she going to be taking on more work as well?
Trade on payroll.
So maybe her as well. I guess I was kind of thinking, so right now, auditor first deputy is at $18.50. And second deputy is at $17.50. I was just kind of thinking we go to 20 for first deputy and $18.50 for second deputy. It's just my opinion.
Like even numbers.
Yeah.
So does payroll.
Yes, yes, so it's true.
So what was your suggestion?
So right now, first deputy is $18.50. I would go to 20 an hour. And then second deputy is $17.50, and I would go to $18.50 an hour. So that'd be another $2,700 on the year for first deputy and $1,800 on the year for the second deputy.
Not that I'm just questioning, the SOR officer, what was that gonna be out of the budget again if we went with the second officer? Will we still have money to cover from the position we're paying if we increase by that amount?
Yeah, we put 30,000, is that right, Beth? We put 30,000 in for the SRO?
No, we put the full amount of 48,
Oh,
because it's just like the first SRO, we pay it all, because they'd be on our
We
payroll,
reimburse it.
and then Lynn will bill the school and they will reimburse us.
But it doesn't cost us 48, what does it end up?
Yeah, because of their reimbursement.
Okay, approximately. Thank you.
So we have to be, we're saying it's gonna help with that.
And we'd still be okay, because it's like 25,000 for that payroll clerk.
Okay.
And then that'd be 20 plus less than 5 for this.
Okay. Okay, just give me those numbers again for the first deputy.
$20 an hour, so we're going from $18.50 up to 20.
Okay.
And then the second deputy is $17.50 up to $18.50. What do you guys think?
I think it's a good idea.
I think.
What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm fine with that.
Maureen? Well, I'll entertain a motion if someone wants to put one on the table.
I'll make a motion to increase the auditor first deputy's hourly rate to $20 an hour and the auditor second deputy's rate to $18.50 an hour.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed. I talked to Jeff briefly about this yesterday, but, you wanna talk about the SRO and what the school board said?
Yes, if you want to.
Yes, please, because we have it in the budget.
Okay, great. I talked with the school board Monday night, presented our case and what our anticipation was for some of the responsibilities and, financial also for the second SRO. And they voted to go ahead and pursue the SRO from their perspective. So, and I told them everything hinged on what you folks voted on today. So, they voted to go ahead and pursue it.
If this is put in the budget and maybe the school board for some reason doesn't approve it, can that money be used for anything then by the sheriff department, or is it tied to that?
No, you can reappropriate it, as long as the bottom number doesn't change the total.
That would have to be done by council.
Right.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that was my concern.
Sure,
If we
yeah.
had it in the budget, whether it could be
Right.
moved somewhere else.
Yeah, I wouldn't want
If
to,
that happens.
I wouldn't say, yeah, just because they didn't hire a second officer, well, now we've got this much money. I wouldn't want to do that.
And also, we had 2 road deputies in public safety in the first SRO, and we moved 1 road deputy back to county general, so we still only have 3 employees in public safety, which was gonna be a road deputy and 2 SROs. So if you don't approve, or if that second SRO doesn't happen, then you could move a road deputy from county general into public safety.
Well, I think we're already spending more out of county, or public safety than we're bringing in.
Well, that,
So at this point, you just want to leave the budget as it is, the SRO.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that makes sense to me.
Okay, anything else about the budget that we want to discuss or change or modify before we?
Just following up from last meeting, talking about the dog catcher.
Mhm.
I tried to research rates, and it's like you mentioned, it's so variable, across county, so I really couldn't find anything that was hard evidence, I guess, so.
Yeah, it's really hard to find comparable. I mean, I leave it like it is and then,
I think so maybe we could get with him and just understand better, you know, what he's doing and how much work it is, and we can figure out from there kind of what we think an hourly rate would be kind of attached out to.
okay, yep. We'll, conquer that one on the next one.
Okay.
Anything else? There's no other input about the budget. I'll close the hearing. Okay. So, budget, the approved 2026 budget, I will entertain a motion to get that adopted.
So move.
Yes.
I'll second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Well, let's jump back up to the top of the agenda and do the approval of the minutes from the last meeting. Everybody have time to review those?
I put the minutes, hearing to,
Okay.
so, yeah, we should sign those.
I think so too. That's good. So the first one we'll do is the meeting from September 18th, the regular meeting.
I move we approve the minutes from last meeting.
Tyler?
I'll second.
Any other discussion or changes? All approved signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed. also the meeting notes from the public hearing on October 1st. So we probably should go ahead. Uh-huh. Motion to raise the edit tax by 0.55 and to raise the EMS tax by 0.2 was made. The motion was made by Chris, seconded by Marilyn. Motion was approved 4-3. Yeas were Rosenberger, Clavell, Atkins, Reveley, Brown, Witter, and Adams were no. A motion to adjourn was made by Chris and seconded by Tyler, approved 7-0. I need a motion to approve these minutes.
I'm gonna figure
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Did everybody have a chance to review the budgetary status?
Move to approve the budgetary status subject to audit.
Tyler?
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ordinance modifying the lit. We've already talked about what that will be. I'll entertain a motion to, because we already did.
We already did it, but we have to really all you need to sign it.
Yeah, we agree.
The only thing is that where you sign it, should we make that today's date or should we make that?
Well, it was adopted on the October 1st meeting, right? Or do you want it today?
I don't know, that's what I'm asking. I don't know whether that, because the ordinance was not prepared that night, we couldn't prepare it that night. So I don't know whether you want to take the signatures today.
Well, we adopted it on the first.
That's what I think. I think we need a date just the first.
Okay, whenever you decide, that's fine. That's what I'm at.
Lindsay wants to come here to sign it. They don't need to sign it also.
Yeah, I know.
The glare's a little much, but I think it's nice, thank you.
There you go.
I just wonder, since we have to, something to get Joe out now, we can't wait till next week.
No, you need to send it.
So I wonder, the no votes, you're here obviously. What should we do about that?
Well, the majority's here, and the majority, all of us was here at the October 1 meeting. So I'd say send it like it is.
Okay. Yeah, because we have four to be approved.
Right,
Okay.
right. Okay, additional appropriations, transfer station, this is the tires for that, $38.50. Feel like we've talked about this like for 3 meetings or something. I think we've already talked about the tires were past their useful life. So $3,850 additional appropriation for loader maintenance supplies.
So move.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? County General Probation, 1751 for secretary's salary.
Excuse me.
The judge came later.
That's right. Yes.
Huh? No, I should sign this as I voted at the meeting.
Yes.
Correct.
I just want to make sure.
Yes. Yes, this is when the judge came back and he didn't, right, yeah, so we just need to approve the additional. I think we've already approved the raise. $1,751 to finish out that line item for the year.
Is that the same thing we're gonna have to do with the auditor deputies, or is that going in the budget?
No, she'll change that in the budget before we submit it. So what we just signed,
That's what I was asking.
you want to reprint one?
I'll have to go calculate it and figure it and.
Oh, yeah, okay. The signature page is fine. You'll just have to change.
And I'll send it before I submit it to Dave.
Okay.
So you can look at it.
Good catch, Tyler. Okay. County General Probation, additional 1751.
Move we approve the additional for the secretary's salary.
Tyler?
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Transfers. Transferring, 911 is transferring out of salary and training into overtime. Moving money to cover overtime due to staff shortages, trying to avoid an additional appropriation request. if possible.
So I was looking at the budgetary status for this one, and their overtime is way high this year. Is there something we need to do on the salaries to get people to stay, or is it just one of those jobs where it's not for everyone?
I think that's part of it, salary.
But they're not leaving to go somewhere else. She starts training and then they're like, this is on. It's a big commitment.
Yeah, then we've also had where she's trained them when they start on their own, they can't handle being in a room by themselves with high stress levels.
And Tyler, I know for next month, she's got an addition.
All right, okay.
It's significant.
Well, she needs to do one and get it done.
Yes, this is.
But I think I did see on Facebook or somewhere that Wayne County's also advertising for employees with $25 an hour.
Yeah, yes, I saw it too.
Okay. For the transfer for 911.
Move we approve.
I'll second
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The last one is for the prosecutor. He is part-time clerical decreasing and giving $400 more as court reporter. Do not have a part-time employee. We have 3 jury trials in the next 2 months that we will need depositions on.
I move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? anything else to come before the council? Sheriff, you got anything else for us?
Yeah, I've got a couple of things. There's a new statute that became effective July the 1st, for, say for instance, I hire a deputy and he goes through the academy and gets a little experience under his belt, decides to go to a lateral transfer. The new statute states that the person that hires him or her will be, within that year, will be responsible for all my training costs. And that graduates down, for 2 years, it would be 66%, 3 years would be 33%. And then if they leave after that first year and go to a different job that's not in law enforcement or public service, then they are responsible for that. And we're gonna implement that before this process takes place at the end of October for the new hires. So hopefully that'll kind of help keep guys around every other county doing it. I've got a copy into our attorney right now to see how he feels like it's worded correctly. We'll go from there. That's just something to think about. One other thing, it's our water heater. We were about 10 days without hot water up here, and so some of the inmates were taking cold showers, and I sent some of the others to Wayne County and Fayette County to get their showers. And so we put a used water heater in because the parts for the one that was in there were back ordered for 3 weeks, and that was $1,500, and even then they weren't sure that was gonna fix it. It's 11 years old. And so I talked to Jason Powell about maybe putting in a different water heater. It's a quick recovery, it'd be about a 55 or 65 gallon water heater. And all that will be about $3,500. How we're getting by right now is my brother had a used water heater that come out of a new home from D&J. They gave him, and so Jason hooked that up. So we got warm water now, but we're on bar all the time. But a new water heater like the one we've got in there now, commercial grade, $7,500. So, with times the way they are, I thought we'd try to get by a little different, cheaper on a different route. But right now we're getting by.
About how long they think it'll last though?
The one we got in there?
You put the $3,500.
Oh, well, it should probably last 5 or 6 years.
But if you're gonna spend that twice,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So, and,
go ahead and do it right. And
yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. We'll have to put that up for bid when we decide to do something. That's all I'm gonna bring to you guys to decide what to do when the time comes.
Okay. I agree, I think you're gonna do it.
Do you have natural gas in
Yes, it's natural gas.
the, do they have an instant hot water heaters that would work?
Yeah, we talked about that. Maybe get an instant hot water
I
heater.
don't know what they make as far as commercial.
Yeah.
So we just put some at the school a few years ago. They're nice,
Yeah.
but especially because it's a daycare, you have to watch the temperature. The temperature
Right.
is really hard to adjust and maintain.
Right.
Because when you ask for it, it's hot right now,
Yeah.
and then it cools down. I mean, it's been very hard for us there. I don't know if you have those kind of regulations or if they're better now. We probably had that one for, I want to say, 4 years.
Is there any maintenance on those?
No,
Really?
zero maintenance.
Okay.
And I'm thinking it cost us right around $8 grand, 4 or 5 years ago. Just because it's a daycare, I probably
Right.
wouldn't do that again.
Yeah.
Because they have to check the water temp everywhere, because where the kids wash their
Right.
hands and all of that. But yet they have to have a certain temperature to wash their dishes and their
Right.
laundry. So that's why we thought it would be good for that.
Uh-huh.
But for the little babies, I'm not sure. It was probably, it's a pain.
Yeah.
But maybe you don't have those regulations, adults can adjust their temperature much
Right.
easier than, 3-year-olds. I'm just saying that's what we dealt with at the school.
Yeah.
But it's really nice, no maintenance, no nothing. Once it's in there, it's in there. And then just adjusting the temperature.
Have you got a water softener in there with that?
We do not.
Okay. Because I was told that the way the city water is here,
Terrible.
it's, yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah. We do not have a water softener there. Probably something that we should consider doing.
Okay.
But anyway, that's just.
That's just something we can think about down the road.
Sure.
We had one, I'm sorry, David.
No, it's about the first thing you're saying, talking about.
When we were talking about the parts being back ordered, my jail commander found a commercial water heater on Marketplace in Connersville. And, I went and got it Friday night, it was a monster. I was worried about it not going downstairs, but it wouldn't, and then we got to looking even closer, and it's a 483 phase.
Oh, jeez.
So, we got a $25 piece of scrap metal for $200. So what I did, in order to make sure that the numbers came out right, I just paid the sheriff's department for the water heater, and I just scrapped it. Because I couldn't get the guy to answer the phone again.
No, you took his gem.
Yeah, so, anyway, that's. how
Wrong
it is.
number.
Yep.
Okay, anything else for us, Sheriff?
On the,
Oh, David? Yeah.
back on the training cost thing, is it legally defined what your training costs are?
Yeah, we will have, what the academy requires that candidate to have as far as clothing and their outfits, the vests and all that. We provide the weapon, but then, all of our costs that we can document that have to do with them being certified through the academy.
Okay, but not the cost of them being on your payroll while they're attending the academy?
There's something that has to do with the payroll, but I'm not sure how that's worded. But it's something to do with the payroll.
Well, that would be part of training costs.
Should be.
Yeah,
If they're up there being paid, that's.
Yeah, because they are paid while they're up there.
Yeah, like, that'd be a big difference
Yes.
in cost.
Yep.
Anything else before the council? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Chris? Somebody second? Tyler, thank you. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
First report.
Session.